Yo, what's good? It's your boy Danny, back with another video. Today I'm going to be talking to you guys about how I personally deal with my anxiety. Brief preface before this video starts, I do want to say that this is not professional advice. This is just how I have personally learned how to deal with my anxiety and how I still battle anxiety when I get it. If you are experiencing anxiety, I do implore you to seek professional help if needed, and just try different methods and see what works best for you. This isn't the end all be all perfect guide to dealing with anxiety. So the first thing that I do to combat anxiety is taking cold showers. So I do cold showers. I mainly take cold showers. I don't really take warm showers anymore, just because the discomfort almost brings me comfort, if that makes sense. The discomfort of the cold showers consistently every day, it kind of puts me in a good mood and a good rhythm, and it also just keeps me on point. There's a lot of benefits to taking cold showers. If you look on the internet, you'll see plenty of articles and videos discussing cold showers and the benefits of exposure therapy. So one thing that happens when you take cold showers is it allows you to breathe a lot deeper. You end up breathing from your diaphragm, I believe. When you're in that cold, it forces your body to go into this form of breathing, and it actually aids in mental clarity, at least for me, as well as just making me feel a lot more present. I tend to not think of as much about what's going on outside of just the fact that damn, it's cold, it's really cold. On top of that, the exposure to the cold within itself kind of makes it easier for me to do things that would make me feel that way. Having a time at the end of the day where it's like, damn, there's this thing that I don't like doing, but I have to do it. And having to do it every day, it makes it a lot easier to do other uncomfortable things. So when it comes to boxing, I'm not really scared to get punched in the face, or if it's talking to a pretty girl, it's not really as intimidating, because every day I have at least one thing that I'm doing that pushes me outside of my comfort zone. So the anxiety from trying new things, or the anxiety from doing uncomfortable things, or maybe having uncomfortable conversations, doesn't really occur to me as much. The next weapon in my arsenal for dealing with my anxiety is going to be thinking it through. A lot of the time we get anxious and we don't even know why. So we'll be sitting down and we'll be thinking, it's like, damn, I'm so nervous about X, Y, and Z. And you don't really think it through. You don't know what exactly you're anxious about. So what I like to do is almost walk myself through and almost talk myself through whatever it is at the moment I'm anxious about. So let's say I'm going to meet a group of friends and I'm like, damn, I'm anxious. Why are you anxious? I'm wearing this new top. It's like, what's wrong with the top? It's like, well, they might think it's weird. They might think it's not cool. It's like, well, do you think it's cool? It's like, I do think it's cool. It's like, can you control what they think? I can't control what they think. So why worry about it? It's like, oh, I don't know. It's like, what's the worst that could happen if they don't like it? They'll make a joke. It's like, will you get over it? It's like, yeah. And then after that, the anxiety kind of dissipates from there. I'm not going to say it's instantly gone, but it kind of dissipates, because I realized that the thing I was worried about really isn't that big of a deal. I'll get over it. Let's say you're getting anxiety about, trying something new. I'm about to try this new sport for the first time, and I'm really nervous. Why? Because what if I fail? It's like, what if you fail? Ask yourself, what happens after you fail? It's like, okay, well, if I fail, then, I could either try again, or I could see that this isn't for me and I can move on to the next thing. But there's only so many things that could happen after you fail. So when you get anxious, or when you fear the outcome, start really asking yourself, what is the worst possible thing that could come from me doing this right now? And how can I move forward past that? So if I quit my job right now, what is the worst thing that could happen? I go broke. And if I needed to get another job exactly like this again, could I do it? Absolutely, because I did it before. Moving on. What's the worst thing that could happen if I confront my partner about this thing that's bothering me? They break up with me. The worst thing that happens is I lose somebody that wasn't willing to work with me. Okay, cool. And it's easier said than done, but once you start walking yourself through these thought processes in that manner, it will become a lot less intimidating. It won't not be intimidating, but it will become a lot less intimidating. It'll go from being a lion to just a cat with an attitude. And a cat with an attitude is a lot easier to deal with than a lion. Journaling. Journaling is a big one for facing and dealing with my anxiety. I tend to journal a lot. Sometimes I'll journal for pages upon pages about things that I'm nervous about decisions I'm about to make in my life, or decisions I have made in my life, maybe self-image things that I'm anxious about in terms of perception. So just sitting down, writing down almost the same way like you think it through, but instead of thinking it through, you're writing it down on paper. What's bothering you? Almost checking in with yourself. I'm about to make this decision. I feel this way about it. It makes me feel uncomfortable. It makes me feel like my skin is itchy. It makes me feel like my feet are on fire. You really start describing how these things make you feel. And once you start to kind of make an image of what this anxiety is doing to you, almost depict it, you'll know your enemy. In order to beat your enemy, you have to know your enemy. So what does your anxiety look like? And the best way you could start to almost paint your anxiety is by writing these things down and fleshing it out on paper and then reading it back to yourself. It's like, damn, this is what I'm up against. Okay, cool. How can I go up against that? How can I deal with that? When this happens, I notice I feel like this. And the only reason I know that now is because I wrote it down, so I see it. When this happens, it causes this chain reaction that makes me feel anxious. So either avoid that thing that's making me feel anxious or figure out another way around it. The next step that I have, or the next tool in my arsenal or weapon in my arsenal for dealing with anxiety, is exposure to the thing that's making me anxious. So this is more of a headstrong approach. I definitely wouldn't just recommend this to anybody off the rip. This is definitely something I would say that you want to build yourself up to. But I mean, if you feel up for the task, do it. Whatever you're feeling anxious about, confront it, embrace it, go up against it. You know what I mean? Make it your, like, go up against it and be like, yo, I'm not afraid of you. And even if I am, I'm not folding. Think about it like Mike Tyson. When you see Mike Tyson, he's doing his stare down. It doesn't matter what he's feeling inside. On the surface, he looks ready. He's just like, yo, I'm here. I'm here. I'm not going anywhere. I'm here. I'm here. So what? I'm here now. I don't have a choice because this is something I want, so I'm here now. Let's say you're anxious in public. You got social anxiety. You know, you're around a lot of people. You don't really like how that feels. Nobody else knows how you feel. Nobody else knows that you're nervous. Nobody else knows that your boxers are SpongeBob boxers, and nobody cares. You could literally spill water on yourself, and 10 minutes later, not even 30 seconds later, an hour later, people will forget about it and move on with their lives and go back to stressing about their bills or whatever the case may be. So there's nothing to really be too afraid of. And the more you start putting yourself in those situations that you were originally nervous about, the more you'll realize it wasn't that bad. You'll get on the other side of it and you'll be like, oh damn, this wasn't that bad. I'm glad I did this, you know? So trying to find that feeling through your anxiety, the things that make you anxious, as opposed to kind of shying away from them or running from them, try embracing them. The last weapon in my arsenal, and my favorite weapon, it's a tricky one, but it's my favorite, is meditation. Now, I found that meditating more and more has allowed for me to just have a lot more mental clarity. When it comes to even dealing with my own anxiety, it doesn't tend to last for as long because I realize those voices aren't mine. That fearful voice in my head isn't always mine. That oh, what if they don't like me? Or oh, like, what if this video does terrible? That voice isn't really mine. It's a doubt, it's a worry. And giving it a name through meditation, just, there's that guy Bob. Bob is always being doubtful. I'm not Bob. Bob is just a voice that is passing through my head. A lot of the time we get thoughts from other people and we kind of claim them as our own without realizing it. So somebody will tell you 5 years ago that, you know, you have an ugly smile, and now 5 years later you're out in public and you're scared to smile. You're kind of anxious whenever you're smiling because you think you have an ugly smile, because there's a thought that's looming in your head that is telling you have an ugly smile when you don't. But when you meditate, when you sit down with yourself and you have that silence, those thoughts kind of come to the surface and you could see what's yours and what's not, what you want to keep and what you want to lose. And it'll almost allow you to just kind of slow everything down like the Matrix. So you'll be walking on your day to day and that anxiety will start to kick in, and then you'll just remember, it's like, oh, wait, I'm in control. What voice is that? That's not mine. Anyways, back to what I was doing. And it's not always going to be that quick. There's going to be times where you literally have to back out every tool in your arsenal to deal with an anxiety attack or an episode, or to face that problem. And then there's going to be times where you literally are just walking and you're on the fly and just, it's gone. As soon as it starts to fester up, it's gone, just like that. So those are the tools that I have in my arsenal, or that I've been using and implementing into my life, that have helped me with my anxiety. And I hope that these tools aid you. And going forward, I definitely will make videos on each of these tools and kind of give you a more elaborate play-by-play on how I use them and how you could use them too. See you guys in the next video. Make sure to like, comment, and subscribe.